The galaxy changed on a quiet night. Far from any major trade route, near the cold edge of Sol space, an alien patrol ship floated in silence. Its hull carried the mark of the Volari Union, a small but careful species known for watching everything. The ship's crew believed this patrol would be easy. Humans were peaceful most days, loud some days, but never a real problem. For years the Volari simply recorded human radio noise, scanned Earth from a distance, and filed reports no one ever read. Tonight was different. Commander Rethvier stood on the bridge, tapping his claws on the railing as he watched a strange signal blink on his screen. The signal came from a human research outpost on a small moon orbiting a barren planet. It repeated a short message every few seconds, but the tone in it was wrong. The humans sounded calm, but the system flagged something in the background, something that felt like fear hiding under steady words. "Sir," said Sela, the sensor officer, her soft tendrils curling in worry. "You should hear this." She played the message again. A human voice spoke. "This is Outpost Helan. Minor breach detected. Situation contained. Repeat, contained." Rethvier narrowed his eyes. Humans were many things, bold, loud, reckless, but they never claimed things were minor when they wanted help. If they were in danger, they shouted. If they were dying, they screamed for rescue. If they had solved a problem, they bragged about it for weeks. This message was wrong. "Scan for power spikes," Rethvier ordered. Sela ran her claws over the control panel. The ship hummed as sensors pushed out waves of energy. Then her eyes widened. "Commander. I am picking up weapons fire. Multiple hits. The outpost is under attack." Rethvier stiffened. "Who is attacking?" Before she could answer, the patrol ship received a new signal, raw, unfiltered, and violent. The sound of explosions. Metal tearing. Someone yelling orders. Someone else crying out. Then the calm voice returned, but this time it spoke 3 short words that made Rethvier's skin crawl. "We are awakening." The transmission cut off. Rethvier felt his heart skip. "Move us closer. Record everything. And prepare to retreat if needed." The patrol ship glided forward, its dark hull blending with the shadows of space. When they reached view of the outpost, no one on the bridge spoke. They only stared. A pirate fleet of nearly 20 ships surrounded the human station. The pirates were a mix of species, lawless foes who attacked anyone they could overpower. Their ships fired non-stop at the research outpost, lighting the darkness with bursts of red and orange. But the outpost did not fall. It glowed. A faint blue light pulsed from its walls, growing brighter with each hit. The glow spread like living veins, crawling across metal structures as if the building itself were waking up. Then the pirates' shots slowed. Some stopped firing. Others drifted off target. It was as if something was interfering with them. "Sir," Sela whispered, "I think the humans are not just defending. I think they are changing." Inside the outpost, human life signs moved fast, so fast the sensors struggled to follow them. Heat signatures spiked unnaturally. Heartbeats rose to impossible levels. Bodies emitted bursts of energy like tiny explosions. This was not normal. This was not even close to normal. A pirate ship drifted too close to the glowing station. In a flash, a wave of bright blue energy burst from the outpost. The wave hit the pirate vessel and tore its shields apart like paper. The ship spun out of control, flames bursting from its engine. "What was that?" Rethvier demanded. Sela stared at her readings. I do not know. It is like the station released a surge of human biological energy. But biology cannot do that. It is impossible." Rethvier opened his mouth to reply, but then something happened that froze every crew member in place. Humans came out. Not in ships. Not in suits. They came out in person. A group of human defenders burst through a damaged airlock in glowing armor that was not metal, but skin. Their bodies shone with blue light. Their eyes burned like stars. They moved through the vacuum of space with impossible ease, pushing off debris with strength that made no sense. They launched themselves at a pirate boarding craft, landing on its hull with a force that dented armored plating. They ripped the door open with their bare hands. Blue light shot out as they entered. Seconds later, the ship went silent. Sela's voice shook. "Commander, humans cannot breathe in space. They cannot survive unprotected. This is not possible." Rethva whispered, "It is happening whether we believe it or not." Another pirate ship tried to escape, but a glowing human leapt from the outpost like a comet. He landed on the fleeing vessel, slammed a hand into its hull, and released a surge of light. The entire ship shut down. No weapons. No shields. No power. It was over. The pirate fleet broke apart in panic. Ships fled in every direction. Some vanished into warp. Others simply turned and ran. Within minutes, the once mighty raid collapsed. Silence returned to space. The humans floated back toward their glowing outpost, their bodies dimming as the blue light faded. They moved slowly now, tired, drained, but alive. The outpost glow softened, then disappeared entirely. Rethva felt his chest tighten. He had witnessed something the galaxy was not ready for. A biological weapon. A living defense. A shift in what humans were. The patrol ship pulled back to a safe distance and began transmitting everything to the Valari Union. Scans. Images. Audio. Heartbeat readings. Energy spikes. All of it. "This will spread across the galaxy," Rethva said in a low voice. "Everyone will know what humans have become." Sela turned to him. "Do you think they did this by choice?" Rethva did not answer. Because deep inside, he feared the truth. Humans had not broken. Humans had evolved. And now the galaxy had to face whatever they had awakened. News spread fast across the galaxy. At first, it was only a whisper moving between small outposts and trading stations. A strange report here. A confused message there. But every message carried the same idea: humans had changed. By the end of the day, the rumor reached the great halls of the Galactic Council. The council chamber sat on a massive station orbiting the calm blue world of Arvin Prime. It was a place of order, rules, and long debates. But today, nothing felt calm. The giant room, shaped like a circle with rising seats, buzzed with panic. Representatives from 50 species shouted, argued, and waved their arms. The Valari delegate, Lethra, stood at the center holding a small data cube. Her voice was steady, but her hands shook. "This recording," she said, "was taken by our patrol ship. Humans have displayed abilities that should not exist." The chamber fell quiet. Lethra pressed the cube. A hologram filled the room, grainy blue shapes forming the image of Outpost Helion. The council watched as pirate ships attacked the human station. They watched as the blue glow spread across the walls. They watched as human bodies, shining with unnatural light, moved through the vacuum of space like it was nothing. Some delegates gasped. Others shouted. A few simply stared in shock. "This cannot be true," yelled a tall, bird-like representative from the Harak Dominion. "It is true," Lethra answered. "Our patrol ship risked destruction to record this." A deep, rough voice boomed from the other side of the chamber. The speaker was a massive reptile with armor-like skin, the representative of the Draker Empire. "This is proof," he growled. "Humans have created a weapon. A living weapon. They must be stopped before they spread this power." A wave of angry agreement passed through the entire chamber. Humans are already trouble. They act without rules. They push borders. They will destroy us all. But not everyone shouted. Some watched quietly. Some looked worried, yes, but not angry. The representative of the gentle Kelleran species, a small, silver-skinned woman named Ashatel, raised her hand. "Are we certain humans did this to become stronger?" she asked softly. Or did they change to survive something? Humans often change because they have to. Change, the Draker delegate scoffed. They turned into monsters. Ashatel shook her head. I have met humans. They are loud, yes. They are strange, yes. But they also protect others. They help. They care. This new power might have a reason. Another delegate, old and wise from the Levian cluster, spoke next. We should send a team. Diplomats. Scientists. Spies, too, if needed. We must learn the truth before making war. The room split in two, those who wanted to destroy humanity, and those who wanted answers. After long hours, the council reached a decision. A team would go to Earth. They would investigate, judge, and return with the truth. But they would not go alone. Behind them, hidden in stealth ships, would travel silent military cruisers. Just in case, they said. The diplomatic ship Serene Path left the council station with a crew of mixed species. The Valari brought their sensors. The Kelleran brought their healers. The Levian brought scholars. And hidden deep inside the ship were 3 agents trained to spy on humans. As Serene Path moved through the black night of space, the crew felt unease growing stronger. Some had fought humans before. Some had traded with them. Some only knew stories. But all agreed on one thing: if the humans truly had gained this strange blue power, then the galaxy was facing something new, something unpredictable. 3 days into the trip, they received strange readings. Wreckage floated ahead. Burnt metal. Broken pieces of ships. Heat still rising from the debris. What happened here? Asked Ashatel. The Valari sensors scanned. After a moment, the officer said, these were pirate ships. Destroyed recently. But the weapons' signatures are unusual. They look like energy bursts, biological bursts. A silence fell across the bridge. Everyone thought the same thing: humans. But before anyone spoke, the sensors beeped again, this time in warning. There is a ship ahead, the officer said. Drifting. No power. No life signs. They moved closer. It was one of the pirate vessels from the recording, recognizable from its sharp claws and red markings. But something was wrong. The hull was covered in small, round burns. Places where metal had melted. Places where something alive had touched it. The diplomatic team felt a chill. Did humans do this? Whispered one of the Levian scholars. We cannot be sure, the Valari officer answered. But the truth was already obvious. Later that night, Ambassador Lethravier called the leaders of the diplomatic team into a meeting room. The lights were low. The air was heavy. We must be honest, she said. Humans are changing. And we do not know why. Until we understand the cause, we cannot trust them. The Draker agent, his claws scratching the metal table, leaned forward. If they have become a threat, we must strike first. If they finish whatever they started, it may be too late. Ashatel shook her head strongly. Strike first. Against a species we do not understand? That will bring only war. War may already be coming, the agent said. Asha looked away. She feared he might be right. On the 5th day, Serene Path entered human territory. Alarms did not sound. No ships attacked. No warnings appeared. Humans did not greet them. Instead, an eerie quiet filled space. It was as if the humans were watching, waiting, measuring them from afar. The diplomatic team felt eyes they could not see. They felt pressure they could not explain. They felt the strange truth. Humans were no longer the same. When Earth finally came into view, a blue and white world shining in the dark, the entire crew gathered at the windows. Home of humans. Birthplace of the new power. But something else drifted around the planet. Floating platforms. Energy rings. Defense grids. All glowing with faint blue veins, the same pattern as the outpost. A cold wave passed through the ship. The Kelleran healer whispered, "Whatever they awakened, it is growing." And in that moment, everyone felt the same fear. The galaxy had changed. And humanity was at the center of it. The ship's serene path entered Earth's orbit slowly, almost carefully, as if afraid to wake something sleeping. The diplomats stood on the main deck, staring at the strange blue energy lines that wrapped around the human defense grid. The lines moved like living rivers, pulsing with soft light. "It is alive," whispered one of the Levian scholars. "No," Ashatel said quietly. "Not alive. Connected." She did not know how she knew. It was just a feeling. A message appeared on their console, a calm human voice. "Welcome to Earth Council Station. Your arrival is noted. Do not be afraid. Please move to Dock 3. The voice was warm, polite, almost gentle. But that made the diplomats even more nervous. Humans were friendly, yes, but not usually so calm. Something in their tone felt measured. The ship drifted toward the dock. The blue veins on the station brightened as they approached, spreading like patterns under skin. The station itself seemed to breathe. When the airlock opened, a team of humans waited for them. They looked normal, same faces, same bodies, same uniforms the galaxy knew. But there was something different in their eyes. They seemed sharper. Focused. Aware in a way that felt unnatural. A tall woman stepped forward. "I am Dr. Mara Ilian, head scientist of Biodefense Division. Welcome to Earth. We know why you are here." The Draker agent tensed. "Then you understand the fear you have caused." Mara didn't look offended. She simply nodded. "Yes. And we will show you everything." The diplomats followed the human team through long white halls. The walls glowed with faint blue light, not bright but present, like a heartbeat through a thin layer of skin. It made the whole station feel alive. Ashatel reached out and touched a wall gently. The light reacted, flowing toward her hand before fading. "What is this?" she asked. Mara smiled softly. "A support system. It senses emotions. It responds only to humans, mostly. It helps us direct our focus and energy." "Energy?" Letherivier asked. "You mean the blue glow from the recordings?" Mara nodded again. "Yes. But not in the way you think." They entered a large room filled with soft lights and transparent screens. Humans worked quietly, their hands moving quickly across floating panels. Their motions were smooth, fast, and felt almost synchronized, like dancers following the same silent rhythm. The diplomats watched with awe and fear. Finally, Mara stopped in front of a glass wall. Behind it, glowing diagrams showed human cells, tiny shapes changing, splitting, reacting to energy pulses. "This is what we call shifted biology," Mara said. "It began after the Helion incident years ago." "You caused it," the Draker agent accused. "No," Mara replied calmly. "We adapted to survive it." A quiet hum filled the room, like the station itself was listening. Mara touched the glass, and the image zoomed in, human blood cells glowing with thin blue rings. "Our bodies learn to respond to danger differently," she said. "Instead of shutting down, our cells release stored energy. Our nerves fire faster. Our muscles harden. Our senses sharpen. The change is not magic. It is survival." "Survival?" Lethera repeated. "From what?" Mara hesitated, and that silence chilled everyone. Ashatel stepped forward softly. "Please. We need to understand." Mara sighed, then activated a new screen. It showed an old recording, a human colony under attack by an unknown force. The attackers did not have ships or weapons. They moved like shadows, slipping through walls and touching people. Everyone they touched collapsed, unconscious. It was a biological weapon, silent and deadly. "This attack," Mara said, "almost wiped out a colony before anyone understood the threat. We studied the damage. We studied what saved the few survivors. We built on that. She turned to the diplomats, her eyes bright. We did not create a weapon. We created a defense. The room went silent. They moved deeper into the station, entering an area that looked like a training hall. Humans practiced in pairs, moving fast, striking targets, dodging attacks. Blue sparks flickered around their bodies, but only for moments. They were learning to control it. One human missed a block and stumbled. His partner reached him instantly, placing a hand on his shoulder. Both their bodies glowed for a moment, lights merging before fading. Ashatel stepped closer. You can share energy. Mara nodded. Yes. Touch, voice, even strong emotions can help us move energy from one person to another. It makes groups stronger together. That is dangerous, the Draker agent said sharply. A united force could destroy fleets. A united force could also save them, Mara replied. Her tone was simple, but her eyes were firm. This is why we called it awakening, she said. We awakened abilities that always slept inside us. The diplomats were shown living quarters next. Families sat together. Children laughed. Old men rested on chairs. Normal life, except for the quiet glow in the air, like everything was connected. A small human child ran past, giggling. As she tripped, her mother reached out, and a faint blue wave caught the girl before she hit the floor. Asha smiled at the gentle scene. This is beautiful. Letheravier nodded. But the council will not see beauty. They will see danger. Mara's face tightened. Then they must learn. At last, Mara led them to a wide viewing deck showing Earth below. The sun painted the ocean gold. The blue veins of the orbiting platforms shimmered softly. This is our home, Mara said quietly. We protect it because no one else will. The Helon attack taught us that. She turned to the diplomats. We did not strike first. We did not go looking for war. But when the galaxy pushed us, we changed. The Draker agent stepped forward, eyes cold. You expect the council to believe this is harmless? No, Mara said calmly. We expect the council to understand that fear does not equal truth. Ashatel looked at Earth, beautiful, glowing, alive. And she understood something important. Humans were not preparing to conquer the galaxy. Humans were preparing to survive it. And now the council had to decide if they were friend or threat. The diplomats had only been on Earth for 2 days when everything changed again. Early morning light touched the windows of the Earth Council station. Humans moved through the halls with calm purpose, their steps firm and steady. The alien diplomats were still trying to understand the new, shifted biology, still debating what it meant, still unsure how to present it to the Galactic Council. But then an alarm cut through the quiet. A deep, sharp tone. One that made every human stop mid-step. One that made alien visitors freeze with fear. It was not a drill. Dr. Mara Ilian appeared from around a corner, her face tense. A frontier colony is under attack. Again. The diplomats exchanged worried looks. Only the Draker agent seemed unsurprised. By humans? He asked bluntly. Mara shot him a cold glare. By the same enemy that attacked Helion years ago. She tapped her wrist panel, projecting a small hologram. It showed the colony world, Verdant 6, engulfed in fires. Strange ships circled its atmosphere. These ships were black, smooth, and silent, with no clear engines, no comm signals, and no markings. They moved like living shadows. Ashatel whispered, "Who are they?" "We do not know," Mara said. "We never found them. Never saw them again. Until now." Retheravier, who had remained quiet until now, stepped forward. "Then you believe this attack is linked to your biological shift?" Mara nodded. "The first attack forced us to change. This attack will force us to act." Within minutes the station shook with activity. Humans rushed to ships, their eyes sharp, their bodies already glowing faintly with blue. They strapped on light armor that merged with their skin, becoming part of them. Their movements were fast, too fast for the diplomats to follow. The alien team stood at a viewing deck as the human defense fleet launched. Blue trails followed the ships, growing brighter as energy linked between them like threads of light. Ashatel pressed her hands to the glass. They are sinking with their ships. Yes, Mara said from behind her. Our ships read our bodies. They answer our thoughts. We fight as one. The Draker agent frowned. This is exactly what the Council fears. Mara's voice was steady. Truth does not change because of fear. Far across space, the battle had already begun. Verdun 6 was a green world with deep forests and wide rivers. Families lived there. Farmers. Teachers. Children. It was peaceful, until the shadow ships appeared. The attackers did not fire lasers. They did not launch missiles. They dropped dark, mist-like pods that floated through the air. Wherever the mist touched, people collapsed, gasping for breath. Buildings cracked with strange energy. Machines shut down. The colony sent distress calls, but no one answered fast enough. Not until Earth moved. 3 human cruisers jumped into orbit in perfect formation. Their hulls glowed blue, pulsing like giant hearts. As they appeared, the shadow ships turned toward them, silent and cold. Commander Hale, leader of the shifted defense fleet, gave one order. Begin the link. Inside each cruiser, human bodies lit up. Blue sparks ran across their skin, flowing into panels and floors. The ship lights brightened as if waking up. When the shadow ships fired beams of dark energy, the human ships responded instantly. Instead of shields, glowing waves of blue light rose from the hulls, bending the attacks away. The diplomats watching from Earth saw all of it through the transmitted feed. They are using their own bodies as power sources, Rethra said in disbelief. A Levian scholar added softly, and their fear makes them stronger. No, Mara corrected. Their unity does. On Verdun's XS surface, civilians ran for safety. A father carried his daughter through falling debris. A group of miners helped elders climb into shelters. But the mist pods kept dropping, spreading dark fog across the trees. Then blue light streaked from the sky. Human defenders landed, glowing, fierce, and ready. Their feet hit the ground with waves of light that burned away the mist. The attackers reacted, firing dark pulses at them. But the humans moved with impossible speed, dodging, deflecting, striking back. One defender lifted his hand and sent a wave of blue energy through the trees. It pushed the mist away like wind. Another placed her hands on a fallen colonist, letting her glow flow into the injured man, helping him breathe again. Ashatel watched in wonder. They are fighting and healing at the same time. Mara nodded. That is the point. We do not want war. We want survival. Then something big happened. One of the shadow ships in orbit opened a huge dark portal beneath it. The portal spread like ink, swallowing air and light. A massive surge of dark mist poured toward the planet. Commander Hale didn't hesitate. All ships, merge link. The 3 cruisers responded at once. Their blue lights flared so bright they turned pure white. The energy between them synchronized, becoming one giant shield. Then they pushed forward. 3 ships, but one mind. They cut through the wave of darkness, burning a path of light straight into the enemy fleet. The shadow ships broke formation. Some tried to run. Some attacked. None succeeded. The human cruisers moved too fast and struck too hard. One shadow vessel exploded in a burst of black smoke. Another cracked open with a shockwave of blue energy. A third fell into the planet's atmosphere, burning as it fell. The enemy was collapsing. On the ground, the defenders pushed the last pockets of mist away. Colonists ran out of shelters cheering, hugging the glowing soldiers who saved them. A child tugged on one soldier's armor. "Are you angels?" she asked. The soldier knelt and smiled softly. "No. We're human." Back on Earth Council Station, the alien diplomats watched the end of the battle in silence. They had seen bravery. They had seen power. They had seen something the galaxy feared, but also something the galaxy needed. The Draker agent finally spoke, his voice low. "Your people, they fight like a storm." Mara's eyes softened. "A storm can destroy. Or it can protect." The room fell quiet. Because they all understood the truth. This clash was only the beginning. The galaxy had seen humanity's new strength. And now every empire, every world, every enemy would react. Some with fear. Some with anger. Some with hope. But no one could ignore it anymore. Humanity had awakened. And the galaxy was starting to tremble. The battle for Verdun 6 changed everything. Before that day, the galaxy only feared what humans had become. But after watching the recording, after seeing humans fight the shadow ships and protect the colony, opinions across the stars began to split sharply. Some species saw hope. Some saw danger. Some saw the beginning of a war they could not escape. By the time the diplomatic team returned to the Galactic Council Station, tension was heavy like thick smoke. The council called an emergency meeting. Representatives filled the giant circular hall, angry voices, worried whispers, flashing screens showing the Verdun 6 battle again and again. Footage of glowing human soldiers protecting children. Footage of shadow ships falling. Footage of humans linking their energy to power their cruisers. A storm of noise shook the chamber. They are too strong. This power must be banned. They saved a colony, does that mean nothing to you? They can turn that power on us next. Humanity is no longer predictable. Referevier stepped into the center of the chamber and raised her hand. "Order. We must hear the report." Slowly, the noise faded. The alien diplomats, Ashatel, Letherevier, the Levian scholars, and the Draker agent, moved to the center. Everyone stared at them. Everyone waited for the truth. Letherevier began. "We met the humans. We saw their new biology. We saw their training, their lifestyle, their goals." She took a slow breath. They did not create this change to attack the galaxy. They created it to survive a threat we now know is real. She played the recording of the shadow ships attacking Verdun 6. The chamber fell silent as thousands watched the silent black ships dropping mist across the forests. They watched humans arrive in glowing waves. They watched the ships merge their energy. They watched the dark portal open. The moment the giant surge of darkness spilled out, several representatives flinched and looked away. When the recording ended, Ashatel stepped forward. Her soft voice carried across the room. "If humans had not fought," she said, "that colony would be gone. Those families, those children, all lost." A representative from the small and peaceful Janari species spoke quietly. "They protected their own. But will they protect us?" The Draker agent's voice was rough. "Or will they come for us next?" His words lit another fire of fear. Humans showed mercy only because it suited them. What if they decide we are threats? They fight like gods. We cannot match this power. A dozen voices shouted at once. Then the screens flickered. A new message appeared, one none of them expected. "Incoming transmission, Testar Dominion." Gasps filled the chamber. The Testar Dominion was one of the oldest and most powerful empires, known for strict rule and merciless strategy. The holoscreen opened. An older Testari commander appeared, his eyes sharp and cold. "Galactic Council," he said, "our empire has reached a decision." Every breath in the room held still. The humans have stepped beyond their place. They have awakened a power that could break this galaxy. His voice was calm, too calm. "So, in the name of galactic safety, the Testar Dominion will eliminate the human threat." A shockwave of whispers swept the chamber. Ashatel stood. "You cannot decide that alone. This is madness." The commander ignored her. "We have already launched our cleansing armada. It will arrive in human space within 10 hours. The chamber erupted into chaos. You started a war. You have no right. Are you insane? But the Testar commander spoke one more sentence before the transmission ended. Be grateful. We will solve this problem for you. The holoscreen cut to black. Silence. Cold. Heavy. Crushing. Ashatel's heart sank. This will start a galaxy-wide war. Letharavier whispered, humans will not forgive this. They will not run. They will fight. The Draker agent stood straight. Then we will see what monsters they have become. Asha glared at him. Or what protectors they truly are. News reached Earth within minutes. The reaction was instant. Human fleets activated. Blue light spread across stations and ships. People everywhere felt a ripple through the energy network, an instinct, a warning, a call. Commander Hale stood on the bridge of the flagship Asterion. His body glowed faintly, calm but ready. All units, he said, prepare for full link. Dr. Mara Ilian arrived moments later. The Dominion thinks we are a threat. Hale nodded. Then let us prove what we really are. Earth's defensive platforms brightened, the blue veins shining like stars. Human cruisers formed lines. Fighters slipped into formation. The entire fleet pulsed with shared energy. A single thought spread across them. Protect. It wasn't fear. It wasn't rage. It was purpose. Back on the Galactic Council station, delegates watched the human formation on their screens. A small representative from the Alan species whispered, they stand, like shields. Yes, Ashatel said quietly. They are preparing to defend, not destroy. The Testar Armada entered human space, massive warships, dark and heavy, moving like a steel storm. The first words from the Dominion fleet echoed across every channel. Surrender your power or be erased. The humans sent one answer. Commander Hale's voice, steady, calm, and warm. We will not surrender. But we will not attack first. Come no closer and no harm will come to you. A Testar captain laughed over the comms. You think your glowing tricks can stop us? Hale replied softly, not tricks. Unity. The Testar ships opened fire. Humanity answered, not with hatred or panic, but with a blazing shield of blue light that spread across the entire fleet. A wave of pure energy pulsed outward. The diplomats watching from afar could feel it even through the screen, a heartbeat of humanity, strong and bright. Ashatel whispered, tears in her eyes, they are protectors, not monsters. Letharavier nodded slowly. Yes. And now the galaxy will see. The first shots had been fired. The storm had begun. Humanity stood ready, not as conquerors, but as a wall of living light. And the galaxy held its breath for what would happen next. Two great forces faced each other in the dark of space. On one side, the Testar Dominion Armada, hundreds of heavy warships, each built from metal stronger than steel, each carrying weapons that could burn moons. They formed a wall of dark power, sharp and ready. On the other side, the human fleet, smaller, lighter, fewer in number. They were not built for domination. They were built for survival. Their ships glowed with living blue veins, like light flowing through blood. Every human in every ship breathed as one. The galaxy watched the live feed in silence. The diplomatic team stood at the center of the Galactic Council chamber. No one argued. No one shouted. Every representative had eyes locked on the screen. The Testar commander began the attack with a single order. Fire. Dozens of heavy beams shot forward. Red and black streaks filled space, rushing toward the human fleet like falling stars. But the humans did not panic. Commander Hale closed his eyes for 1 second. He whispered. Link. Every human touched the panels around them. Their eyes lit up. Their bodies glowed. The blue veins on the ships pulsed brighter and brighter until the entire fleet looked like a single, breathing creature. A shield erupted from them, wide, soft, and bright. It looked like water lit by sunlight. The Testar beams hit it. And stopped. The lights bent around the shield like gentle waves breaking on stone. The human fleet did not move. A laugh of disbelief echoed across the council chamber. Someone whispered, "Impossible." But it was real. Humans held the line. On the human flagship Asterion, Hale spoke calmly into the comms. "Testar Dominion, we will not harm you. We only defend. Stop your attack. We do not wish for war." The Testar commander growled, "You should not exist." Hale opened his eyes, glowing blue. "We exist because you forced us to survive." The commander shouted, "Your power is a threat to every world." Hale shook his head. "No. Our power protects every world." The Testar ships fired again, twice as strong. Their beams cut through space like angry fire. The human shield flickered, but did not fall. Behind Hale, Dr. Mara Ilian placed her hand on the glowing panel. "Hale," she said softly, "they will keep trying until they break themselves. Then we will keep standing until they understand," Hale replied. On the council station, Ashatel felt tears on her cheeks. "They are not fighting back," she said. "They only block. They are showing restraint." Some delegates lowered their heads in shame. Others stared in confusion. And some began to see the truth. Humans were not rising to conquer. Humans were rising to protect. Even the Draker agent whispered, "They should have attacked." But they didn't. A Levian scholar nodded. "Because they do not want death. They want balance." The council leader, an ancient being whose voice was older than most species, finally spoke. "We misjudged them." Then something unexpected happened on the battlefield. One of the Dominion ships, the Varos 7, overcharged its main cannon. Its core burned too hot. The energy became unstable. A violent red light flashed inside the ship. Mara's eyes widened. "The core is going to explode." Hale gave no orders to fire at it. Instead, he said one word. "Help." 3 human cruisers broke formation and rushed toward the doomed Testar ship. Their pilots glowed bright as stars, pushing their bodies and minds to dangerous limits. Blue energy flowed between them like threads. They reached the ship and extended their light. The shield wrapped around the Testar vessel just as the core erupted. A giant flash consumed the area. When the light faded, the Testar ship was still there. Damaged. Shaking. But alive. The human ships had saved it. A gasp filled the council chamber. No one spoke for a long moment. Then the Testar commander, the same one who demanded human extinction, spoke through a shaky channel. "Why did you save us?" Hale answered softly. "Because life matters. Even yours." Silence filled every ship. Every home. Every world. Every watching heart. Something broke inside the Testar commander, anger, fear, pride, all crushed under the weight of truth. He finally said, voice trembling. "Cease fire. All ships, cease fire." The attack stopped. The human shield dimmed. Ships lowered their energy. The battle ended without a single human firing a killing shot. Hours later, the Galactic Council gathered again. This time, the chamber was calm. Ashatel stepped forward. "Humanity saved their enemy. We all saw it. They risked their lives to stop destruction." The Janari representative nodded. "This new human biology is powerful, yes, but it responds to unity and protection, not hate." The Draker agent sighed. "We judged them too fast." The council leader rose. "Then it is decided." He looked across the chamber and spoke. "Humanity will not be treated as a threat. Humanity is a guardian of the galaxy." A wave of agreement swept through the delegates. One by one, species from across the stars stood in support. Even the Testar representative bowed his head. We attacked. They saved us. We owe them more than fear. For the first time in a long time, peace felt possible. Back on Earth, Commander Hale and Dr. Mara stood on a balcony overlooking the glowing defense grid. Blue veins shimmered faintly across the night sky. We didn't fight a war, Mara said quietly. We stopped one. Hale nodded. The galaxy saw us. Truly saw us. And now, she asked. Hale smiled. Now, we build something better. Across human space, lights connected from colonies to ships to stations, threads of unity growing brighter. Across alien space, messages of peace began flowing. The galaxy had feared the awakening of human power. But in the end, they discovered something else. Humanity had not evolved to destroy. Humanity had evolved to protect. A new age began, one shaped not by fear, but by connection. Not by darkness, but by blue light shining through the stars. And everyone knew, from that day forward, if danger came again, humanity would rise, glowing, united, unbroken.